Hello, this is Heather Hoffman, and I'm here today to share a card using the brand new July 2020 Kit of the Month from Unity Stamp Company. I love all the fun summery images, so I thought I'd focus on this pretty girl on the beach and one of the fun sentiments to start with. I already have it pre-stamped on some white cardstock, and I want to die cut out a portion of the image just to kind of highlight and pop up for a little bit of interest. I'm using a memory box die. It's called Double Stitch Loving Heart cutout. You can use any basic die. It can be a circle, heart, kind of whatever you happen to have on hand. To help just kind of accent the color on this, I'm going to use a little bit of Distress Inker on the edges. I'm using Evergreen Bough, which is actually a fairly deep and dark color, but I wanted just kind of a soft blender on the edges. So you may notice I'm using my blending brush to get a little bit of ink on there and then softly dab some of it off. And then once I did that, I decided I still wanted just a touch more color. Instead of blending around, I kind of picked it up and used the brush to brush over the edge to give a little more of a textured blend for that last little bit. So I have kind of a soft background and then a little more texture over the top. Now I have my sentiment also pre-stamped on just a thin strip of white cardstock, the same as the image was printed on. And I tore the bottom edge to kind of give a banner effect. And I waited till I assembled my card to this point to make sure I could trim it to where I wanted it. And now just to kind of accent that top corner, I'm going to use that same exact color of Distress Ink just to kind of blend a little and help kind of pull all those colors a little bit together and kind of make it a little more cohesive. I love this contrast of kind of the green with that orangey red color. Usually I'd reach for a blue or a turquoise or a teal, so it was kind of fun to stretch and branch out a little bit in my colors. All right, I adhered the outside of that image straight down into the corner of my pattern paper there. That's a memory box 6x6 pattern paper pad called Cottage Stripes and Dots. And then that heart portion I adhered in with a little bit of foam adhesive. Kind of allows you to kind of peek behind and see the color of the pattern paper and add a little dimension as well. All right, before I adhere that banner on, I decided to tie a little bit of a twine bow to the top of it. This is just some jute string from May Arts in a natural kind of a rustic color. I wrapped it around a couple times and just tied it into a simple bow. And then I can kind of slide it up and down to center it where I want before adding a little bit of foam adhesive to the back there as well. So I'm going to add the main piece underneath, but a little thin strip above that loop of twine. That'll kind of help provide a little notch for that twine to fit in, and it'll hold it in place and keep it from slipping off the top without me needing to add any adhesive either. All right, final finishing touch, some coordinating flatback jewels. These are from Pink Fresh Studio, and I'm just going to kind of scatter around a few onto each little corner there, and it adds just the perfect little touch of sparkle, kind of ties that color all together, and a little tiny addition of dimension as well. So you have your popped up elements with the little bit of inking and then the little pop of color carried through with the jewels on there as well. All right, there you go. A super simple way to use an intricate image when you don't want to spend a lot of time coloring. Thanks so much for coming by. Have a wonderful day.